Did Camron really just fire every bridge left standing because what just slipped out could have torched his lifetime bond with Jim Jones for good? And this time no one is calling it a clout pursuit, featuring Chrissy Lampkin raw. Deeply intimate and never meant for the world just entered the net. Here's the rumor. Tearing Harlem up, people close to the gang claim Camron himself is behind it. Petty payback gone sideways. Or cold-blooded chess move to disgrace Jim in the foulest way conceivable. Jim isn't holding back either. He's lighting every platform on fire, vomiting decades of secrets he's swallowed for too long. And it's suddenly bigger than a leaked tape. DODGY dealings, stolen bags, and a brotherhood that may have been a fake all along. Ever seen two street legends change into sworn enemies right in before of your eyes? This isn't any Dipset fallout. This is Dipset's funeral. Once you realize what's coming, your entire picture of Camron will rot from the inside out. It's not just messy, it's horrific, and trust me, once you know, there's no turning back. So stick your eyes here and don't even think of tapping away. This is the ignition switch for ultimate ruin for a team that once screamed loyalty code and family before all else. You'd think Camron had limitations, a boundary that even his ego wouldn't cross. Guess what? Loyalty died screaming last night. Because this leak, it's the dirtiest, most surgical treachery Harlem's seen in years. Let's rewind the footage. It detonated on a disposable Twitter account with 0 followers. There were no hash or captions. Chrissylampkin, queen of Jim's world, was stripped of all privacy in a gut-punch clip that no one was prepared for at first. Fans yelled deep phony, then old footage. But the internet FBI works quickly. Chrissy's face became trending within Anhor. TikTok edits flooded timelines, and reaction videos tallied up millions before a single source spoke up on Twitter. Detectives yelled in unison, "Cam leaked it." Why would Cam do this? What sick satisfaction could he milk from airing out Jim's queen? Was it envy? A silent resentment festering for decades? Or was this check me in a beef? To make sense of this, you have to peel apart Dipset's secret history, because on the surface for the cameras, they appeared impenetrable with their baggy trousers, bandanas, diplomacy, and brotherly handshakes. However, backstage it was a jungle power game, backstabbing bargains, and a continual ego conflict about who truly ran the ship. Camron and Brain, Jim Jones. The brawn and the throbbing heart, but their kingdom just grown heavier, and with every dollar, those cracks they dropped hints, sneaky interview photos, subtle Instagram shade poetry dripping with multiple meanings. Who can forget Cam's bombshell Hot 97 sit-down back in 2017, a full-on family airing where he confessed and mocked, while Jim broke down crying. Fans understood Dipet was sewn together with duct tape and pride. Flash forward to 22/5, the wound never closed. And now that Chrissy's name is dragged through the muck, the fissure has turned into an earthquake. And you want to hear the twisted part? Chrissy and Camron have always had silent beef in the air. The early 2000s scene, she wasn't simply Jin's queen, but she was also a savvy shot caller. Word was that Cam disliked it when she called her barberhop. Reports that Kim even persuaded Jin to drop her focus on the "these streets remain raw and savage, not domesticated." Previously, it was chatter, but now it appears to be a hate seed that sprouted into a vengeful woodland. Insiders who begged to remain nameless stated that controversial tapes were stashed on an old Dipset drive, a hard drive hidden away years ago with access limited to only a few of OG's guests who took that drive. When the crew parted back in the mid-2010s, yeah, you know who, coincidence or a time bomb ready to explode? What makes Kim and Jim were sighted at AROC Nation brunch, arm in arm, just days before the leak, laughing it up for the cameras, even pushing up speculations of a Dipset reunion. So if Kim actually organized this leak, it was a snake maneuver disguised behind fake grins, and Jim was not going to swallow that. Hours after the video nuked timelines, Jim posted an Instagram story with a black background and 3 chilly words, "I see you." Pandemonium comments came in. "It's Cam, no dubious, Dipset's dead, Jim solo, period, imminent." Then Jim added gasoline on the fire with an Instagram live meltdown that cracked 1-2 live viewers in less than 5 minutes, raw, uncensored, no PR intermediary, just pain and poison. Jim yelled into the phone, "I don't care what nobody says. That man envied me since day one. You don't drag my woman through the ground. That clip wasn't an accident. He dropped it to cut me open." The talk lost its mind, emojis, tears, fans fighting in real time, Dipset stands splitting into tribal war zones. Jim went further, petty receipts evolved into full-out exposed Y'all forget this, the same person who robbed me of my tour cut back in 2011, told labels, I was unstable. I kept this empire alive, and you recompense me by dragging Chrissy through. MUD. You are a straight clown. Cam. It wasn't just leaking footage. It was a burnt earth. Proclamation, brotherhood be damned. Podcast ate it up. Vloggers studied every sentence. And Twitter Spaces fought all was Jim overreacting, or had Cam genuinely outed himself as Harlem's worst snake? The fact that Cam continued, ghost in today's rumor business, quiet sounds like guilt. There's no tweet or Instagram caption to contradict it. The queen herself, Chrissy Lampkin, known for never flinching in public storms, made one subtle yet thundering move, goes to Cam online, unfollows him everywhere, scrubs every old recollection, and drops a single dagger on her story. Some wounds don't heal. She didn't tag him because she didn't have to. Harlem knew who she meant. And this wasn't trap beef anymore, this was heartbreak and deceit, with millions watching. And believe me, the issue is far from over. Unexpectedly, an unnamed insider dropped another grenade, so-called text exchanges between Camron and a secretive industry expert detailing out a strategy to dump if these texts are genuine. We're not talking petty beef anymore. This is surgical career murder. And guess what? Kim hasn't refuted a single word. If you're innocent, why ghost the globe as your name is murdered over every feed? Perhaps you can't plan for this day to come and plan to burn every bridge with it. Just when you thought Harlem's largest soap drama hit its last act twist, the instant Jim thought he pulled every Camron skeleton into daylight. Treachery bled. Deeper, like peeling duct tape off a wound that never healed. But the tea didn't end there. Word from Seffi Surge. Word from Sophia. People near to the chaos as the video leak was only the warm-up act. The texts laid out a darker scenario, with Cam assuring an industry partner that he didn't just want to shame Jim. He wanted to carpet bomb the man's entire kingdom. According to one terrifying line, the appropriate filth will break him. Smash his queen, drain his bag, split his fan base, and watch him crawl. In Cam's scorched earth retribution fantasy, everything is fair game, including his lady, money, and people. This so-called insider psyched Cam up and encouraged him to trickle out subtle murmurs, planting mistrust seeds until the world was set for a last death blow. The leaked clip. This wasn't clout, but a slow-motion hit job calculated to leave Jim Jones broke, distraught, and alone. And when these bombshell receipts blitzed the internet, the story grew into a full-scale street conflict. Fans raised on Dipsa choruses and matching bandanas split down the middle. Doomsday once declared Cam a cold-blooded traitor, a Judas, and Pink Mink Cam's faithful holdouts. What Fuja boosted as a survivor, performing what was needed to shield himself from Jim's claimed backstabbing. But, halt for a second. To shatter up a fraternity that formed an empire. Truth is brutal. The deepest bonds shred the ugliest, and the deeper this PR train pushes forward, the sharper the true question cuts. Was this ever about a video, or was this pure, slow burn jealousy wrapped up as business? Then, as if karma ticked over time, awful, old documents mysteriously first on shady blogs and Twitter receipts pages. Paperwork proving how Jin got ripped out of big Dipset money, while Cam scored solo deals behind closed doors. Word on the street is that Cam secured multi-million-dollar back-end checks while telling Jim, it's light work. We'll split it later. This wasn't simply treachery, it was grand larceny with matching chains. Now switch the camera. Maybe it was never just professional beef. Maybe Chrissy's recording was a pawn in a much broader chess game. This isn't TikTok rumor. Dipset heads have receipts for days. Longtime followers remember the murmurs from long back. ROC Nation brunch drama, quiet dinners. Cam skipped Jim's passive antagonistic tweets about being left out in the cold, while Kim made negotiations with suits in private. Some claim Jim felt abandoned, while others say Cam felt dragged down. Regardless, the bond decayed from the inside for years before this blow-up. Jim's raw Spitfire IG diatribe didn't simply air a filthy tape. It lit a time bomb. Dipset was the model for Harlem unity 1 minute and Exhibit A the next. Treason for business. The internet smelt blood and gone, full detective. Everyone from bored TikTok adolescents to strange blogger sought old clips, froze fringed hazy dye memes and compared previous interviews for hidden shade. The burning question. Trending, did Kim destroy Jim for decades while pretending to wave the Dipset flag? If so, this could be the most tortuous takedown in hip-hop lore. A brother stealthily attacks a brother with the nastiest blow. A scandal that guts family wipes away financial flow and sends ardent fans to the other camp overnight. And Cam's radio silence is not even. Fans dug further and discovered a horrible trend of ex-friend ghosted artists and burned bridges dating back to decades. Photos emerged of Cam hugging rappers who later bashed him on tracks. It turns out that crossing the camera means you vanish. Like last week's mixtape, and when Cam becomes silent, you should panic because he has already accomplished the job and wants you to watch the world blame everyone but him. But here's the kicker. The leaks did not stop with Chrissy's moment. Oh no. According to rumors, a complete vault cracked open. More receipts, screenshots, and financial receipts. Old damies were all given to dodgy rumor sites, who made sure this dispute continued simmering for clicks and ads. Dollar who is feeding them. Harlem insiders murmur one name over and over, the puppet master. They say was tight with both Cam and Jim back in the hustle days. Now they're middlemaning the drama, selling exclusives and raking in views by turning a classic Bond into a pay-per-view train catastrophe. The puppet master even offered both parties hush deals and reunion antics in exchange for playing ball and allowing him to milk the feud dry. But power like this does not get shared. So the puppet master lit the match, shut the doors, and watched Harlem's largest dynasty shred itself to bits. So who's actually running this twisted circus? Cam, Jim, or secret serpent Smart and Omake? Both men dance. Whatever the answer to things are unassailable facts. One of the dips that we knew is buried 6 feet under. 2. The wreckage left behind will taint every tour, every interview, and every moment that fans cherish. And believe me, we haven't seen the worst yet. Stay locked in, because this storm has more bodies to pull out. Stand the last horrible act in this jaw-dropping drama where the wreckage is no longer behind closed doors. It's a 5. When two giants split apart in the messiest way possible, an alarm goes off for the entire world to see. The ripples the entire hip-hop jungle. This is a raw autopsy on trust, treachery, and power moves, and how rapidly this game chews away its own legends when loyalty fades. As everyone binged every twist of this train, accident something nastier slithered out of the shadows, and the money bleed was far more ugly than any diss track or petty Instagram managers. Ex-label sharks and veteran tour workers began whispering to blogs that the two kings wear bleeding green, not just clout. And these weren't random fan whispers. These were insiders with receipts, watching sponsors, ghosts, and transactions evaporate in real time. Take Jim Jones, the man who transformed Who'd Love into boardroom alliances. Multiple endorsement checks disappeared quickly. One luxury brand was once plastered all over his Instagram, quietly. Kicked him out. Why? Too messy. No brand wants its logo to be dragged through a story about leaking videos and brotherhood. Meltdown. And Camron, Mr. Comeback Season himself, turns out the anticipation didn't meet reality. Just when he believed he'd reboot this solo crown, his phone wouldn't stop vibrating with cancellation calls. Backers backed out. Promoters ghosted him. Darker murmurs that Cam owed major bread to an old label exec. Hush money turned lawsuit. Once this drama mad name poisonous, it was apparent as daylight this feud ceased being straight gossip and became a financial room with beats. Betrayal as background music. Both men were cornered. Either cease the bullshit or watch the empire disintegrate. Foreclosure notifications and court summons. Then the lawyers arrived like sharks tasting blood. First, Jim fired the first legal canon word is that he smacked Kim with a defamation bomb, taking him to court for slander and malicious talk. And the emotional pain from Chrissy's stolen moment, his staff disclosed to the press that they pushed this to the final end. If Cam would not cough up millions and beg for forgiveness in a public apology, nobody anticipated Ken to fold. He flipped instead. He countersues, alleging that Jim has been milking him for years behind closed doors, finessing transactions, and turning devotion into hush money. Demands Cam's angle. I'm the victim, not the criminal. With papers flying in all directions, legal eagles foresaw a marathon brawl, and every week this drags out. Fans lose hope, respect, and let's be honest, the last remnants of D-Pat's brilliant heritage. Now, here's the gut punch. The real losers ain't simply camera gem. Its day one supporters sported that iconic eagle emblem, blasted mixtapes from shattered speakers, and etched dips set tattoos. Like armor. Now, they're witnessing childhood heroes destroy each other on live streams. Initially, fan allegiance unichical, one group screaming Team Jim Cam's a snake, the other yelling Cam Jim isn't a saint either, back and forth until time frames bled red. But the deeper fans dug, the shakier the ground felt. Leaked videos hit the blog's anguish raw. The video shows Jim slumped in a studio chair, tears trying to fall. Looking through his phone, he whispers, "To nobody. All these years. This is what they think of me despite everything I've given them." You could hear the room holding its breath. Meanwhile, Cam, the Ghost King, scarcely blinked. One tweet was as chilly as a winter Harlem night, "No apology. Press run." Or olive branch, just a grenade that ignited a million conspiracy theories overnight. Started pulling things together. Maybe Cam was never simply the flashy genius in pink, fierce. Maybe he was the puppet master all along twisting ropes, burning bridges when they quit serving him. That eerie silence, it was his final move. Chaos ate everyone alive while he remained invincible. This is no longer a diss struggle. Instead, it is watching two pillars OFA movement set fire to their own temple, brick by brick, while an army of cameras strains every scream and receives every break in their armor. And the saddest part is that no matter how deep this legal dog fight becomes, the wounds will not heal, brands won't return, sponsors won't forget, and kids who previously worshipped Dipset now see their idols as cautionary tales. Prove that in this game loyalty is a fleeting luxury, so buckle up, because when the verdicts drop, when the settlements hit, the only issue left is who lost more, Cam, Jim, or every soul who believed in Dips. Stay tuned, because this is the final page of an era, and the stain will never wash off. Overnight, the internet split into fighting camps, with some defending their favorite Harlem King, and others dumping the hands of Dipets. Formerly unstoppable army looked like ghosts. The more fans clashed, the more power slipped through their fingertips. Everyone watching knew exactly why. Blame Cam and Jim, the dynasty they built, teetering on the edge of ruin. Brick. The only question that remains is theirs. Enough trust left to patch this back together, ordered these two buried Dips. Set for good. But let's bring Chrissy back in concentration for a second, because behind every headline and popular video sat at the both men promised to protect Chrissylampkin, Jim, Queen Harlan's first lady. The name dragged over the digital gutter as the tape reached the timeline. But nobody expected the story twist coming. Whisperers insist Chrissy wasn't. Blindsided insiders suggest she may have previewed entire footage before it leaked. Some even say she begged Jim to shut up, came down before the bomb dropped. Was Chrissy an innocent bystander? She played her own hand in a bigger game to force Jin to choose a side once. Think about this feud. Isn't just two rap titans clashing? Family loyalty exams and decades of filthy secrets collide into public view, and everyone in their circle, from management to old friends, wants nothing to do with the consequences. It's a pro-mushroom cloud that no brand or buddy desires near their name. Therefore, here's the million-dollar question. Could Dipset ever rising again? Could these two iron out treachery this deep, or did they poison their own legacy beyond the point of no return, because it's no longer merely street credibility on trial, it's their seats in hip-hop's Hall of Legends. And from the look, there is no quick fix for the litigation. Stack up the headlines, spin worse the day, and the entire rap world holds breath for the next twist. One thing is certain. The book on brotherhood hasn't closed yet, but when that final chapter drops, one of these men will stand taller than the and the rest of us will never look at Dipset the same again. And there you have it, the raw, unapologetic breakdown. Camron and June Jones implosion that is rewriting hip-hop history. One leaked receipt at a time. Where you come in. Whose side are you on? Did Kim go too far? Or did Jim play victim while pocketing all of these ears? Sound off in the comments. Hold on. I read every hot take and clap back, so choose your side. #team can #team burn it all down at the gym, or with your #team. Your head is blown today. Shatter that like button, send this video to your team, and subscribe right now, because believe me, what comes next makes this seem like child's play. We're delving deeper, spilling hotter tea, and dragging everything skeleton out of the vault. So stay locked in, keep your receipts ready, and remember, when it comes to discovering the truth, we never flinch. Catch you in the next drop.